Hello and welcome to the Nifty Fingers channel. Today I'm going to do a tutorial for the intro riff in Vibuthi by Ozric Tentacles. Alright, so let's slow that one down a bit. In the recording and acoustic guitar is used, I'm going to use electric for the tutorial. So your first note is going to be the 5th fret of the D string. So then what comes after that, I guess, is the a pattern that comes up a lot. You go down 2 notes of the scale in succession, and the first one is a hammer off. The second one is a slide. I call hammer offs pull offs a lot. So pull off from 7 down to 5, and then slide down to 4. Yeah, and after you play that, it's going to be 5, 7, and 8, and all the notes are going to be on the D string, like for a good part of the first part of the riff. Yeah. So once you get to your 8th onto the 8th fret with your first finger, and then you want to slide up to the 12th fret, and this is kind of like an important slide in the riff. It's kind of like the riff work kind of revolves around this slide, and there's another slide coming up to it. So you're kind of like, the riff is kind of like you do one slide, and you're working to the next slide, and then you're working. Kind of revolves around those 2 slides. So the first one is. You play the 8th fret with your pinky and slide up into 12. And then as you're doing the slide, you want to get your first finger ready on the 8th fret. And then, so then you do that same pattern again, like starting with on a downbeat, you start with your first finger on the 7th fret here. And then you just use your second finger as a hammer off, and your first finger slides down to 5. And then you do a 5 pull off, 7 pull off to 5, and slide down to 4. And then to end that the first phrase there, you just start with a C minor, or you use a C minor triad. So again, all the first riff there sounds like this. Okay, and then once you so you end up with your first finger on the 3rd fret there. So then what you want to do is you move up 2 frets and play this riff. So slowly that pattern is kind of like a Toni Iommi riff. You just start with the first finger on the 5th fret, and then hammer on and pull off with your second finger, and then pick the 8th fret below it with your pinky. I think I'm just hammering on it. that's basically it there. Yeah, so you just practice those, I guess, and get it up to speed, and then in the riff you play 3 of those. Then you end up with your pinky on the 8th fret here. So then you're going to play on the A string 5, 6, 8, and this is where the second slide comes in. So you slide from the this note here, the 5th fret, on the D string, and you slide up to 7. Again, you pick the note and you slide into the note above it. Then you end up in the 7th position here. So after that sets you back up for the fall down. So you play the middle finger here on the 8th fret, the A string. Then move your middle finger down to the 6th fret of the A string. Pick it, and then pick the 5th fret of the A string. So all together that part sounds like. Right, so we got our first, then we put those 2 together. So we have all together 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, cool. I hope I counted that in at the right speed. So, at a consistent speed. So then when we play the second part, it starts exactly the same. So I won't just go over that. You just repeat that first phrase. You can kind of think of the whole riff divided up into 4 phrases, like phrase A, phrase B, phrase A again, and then phrase C. So let's do phrase C there now. So we play phrase A the second time. And now this one, you only do one of those groupings. And the groupings have 4 notes, I think I should have mentioned that, but 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then you play again 5, 6, 8. Except you keep going up the scale, so you go up to the 10th fret, the G note on the A string. And then also, the next fret is the 7th fret on the D string. So you're just basically sending up the scale. And this is how you end the phrase C. So you play 8th fret on the D string. That is really fast too. So it's 8, hammer off to 7. Then your pinky gets the 10th fret on the A string. And I like to go, I find for speed, you pick, hammer off, then pick, and pick again. And then you slide your 8th finger up in the 10th fret. And then your 3rd finger gets the 11th fret on the E string. And your 2nd finger gets the 10th fret. So it's hammer off, or pick, hammer off, pick, slide, pick. Is basically the pattern for speed. And I think that's pretty much it for that riff. So yeah, that's what I got for today, and yeah, I hope you enjoy that riff.